The all-pervasive power is experienced through this. So we call it as Vigraha. So we call it Archa Vigraha, Archa Murti. So through this we deal everything. We feel God, we worship God, we pray to God, and we try to have His compassion also through this. That is how actually the idol worship is started, my friends. Among all the idols, which we call as a temple, a place where we keep idols for worship is called a temple, right? So the first and foremost temple appeared on this earth is Sri Ranga, which is in the southern part of India, and there is a beautiful river called Kaveri, which is having a piece of land as an island, as your Australia is, which is totally marooned by the ocean. Similarly, there was a place which is marooned by the Kaveri, a very great river, and in the middle part and the sandy beds, the first deity appeared on this earth. The Ranganatha was consecrated long, long ago, probably during the period of Rama. Now the story is again, something different. I don't want to touch that story. But during the Rama's period, this Ranganatha temple was consecrated, and since then it's in use. People used to go to him, people used to worship him, and people used to feel his presence and so on and so forth. During Andal's period, that is 5,000 years ago, that deity in the temple, whom we call as Ranganatha, spoke with me, did something. What did he do? He accepted a human being into him. He absorbed a soul into him while people were just witnessing that. And that was Godadevi. That was Andal. She dissolved herself into the feet of the Lord Ranganatha. How it happened is a nice story. That is what I'd like to tell you. In the southern tip of India, there is a big temple where the Lord on the banyan leaf is worshipped, whose name was Vatapatra Sai. Vatapatra is the banyan leaf. Sai, one who lays on that. It's a big temple, of course, and there was a great devotee who used to feel Lord Vishnu in his heart, and he used to worship him in his heart itself, and was doing service in the temple. Because he used to feel the Lord always in his heart, his name became Vishnu Chitta. Chitta is the heart. And Vishnu, he used to feel him there, so his name became Vishnu Chitta. People used to call him as Vishnu Chitta only. In that part of India, people speak Tamil. As there are many languages, right? English is a language, and Spanish is a language, German is a language, and Russian is a language, Chinese is a language. Many languages are there, right? So also in India there are many languages. Hindi is a language, and Sanskrit is a language, and Telugu is a language, Tamil is a language. True. So Tamil was in use in the southern part of India. People used to speak Tamil. So this person also was speaking Tamil only, that Vishnu Chitta. I said before, It's not the question of language which was spoken by human beings, but it is what they spoke is all that matters. Vishnu Chitta, while he was serving in the temple, he used to have beautiful experiences, wonderful experiences with the Lord. One day, when he was making the tulsi garlands to offer to the deities, and he was taking rest, suddenly he got a vision. He got a vision like somebody was instructing him, go to the city, which is called Madurai, and establish the greatness of Lord. There were many scholars who were not able to decide what is the supreme power of this universe. Since 6 months, you go to them and explain to them what is the supreme power of this universe. He got a vision like that. And in that vision itself, he was asking, how can I didn't study any book. I don't know the law. I don't have any logic with me. But how can I establish the supremacy of Lord my God? Then he got an instruction like, you are no one to ask. I instruct, you go and do. That's it. He said, it's okay. No questions are asked. I go, and what I speak, I don't know. How to speak, I don't know. And it's up to you. That's okay. Go. Next morning, he left for Madurai, and he reached the assembly of the king who was ruling in those days, and went to the assembly, and he was just standing in the assembly and started speaking something. He didn't know anything what he spoke, but he folded his hands and surrendered himself to the feet of Lord, and just he was standing like that. Some voice poured out of his mouth, an extempore delivery. But the result was so amazing. The king and all the scholars in the assembly stood in ovation and accepted him. Whatever he said is right. And everybody accepted without any second opinion. It was a great event, And the king and also the scholars accepted him as their guru. And because, they used to honor the gurus in those days. So they brought a big elephant, and he made to sit on the elephant back, and all they started walking, marching in front of the elephant, showing their respect to that great Vishnu Chitta. They were praising the greatness of Vishnu Chitta. And Vishnu Chitta knows pretty much well that it's not my greatness. It is somebody who made me to speak all these things. I don't know what I spoke. So people were respecting like that. Suddenly, nobody saw, but he started feeling as if God is coming from the sky. And he said, God, don't come to these people. And then God asked him, why? God, these people do not know you. Why should you come amidst these people? Why you are worried when I am worried? When I am interested to come to you, then what is lost for you? No, God, if you come to these people who have no love at all,